And,
Yes,
but Garry essayed a king's gambit to start the game. Look at this start to his game. He played f4 on move 2. F4,
Wow.
knight c3. So that one's exciting already. Knight c3, by the way, not the most popular move in this position. Bishop c4 is known in this line, knight f3. But Garry already with his king on e2. Man, this guy's an attention hog. He always likes us talking about him. He plays these wild lines. What a thing to prepare for this. Well, when have we seen a king's gambit or a king on e2 in any of our broadcasts ever?
And
Well,
certainly
sure.
not on
If you
move
guys,
4, right?
if you guys want to look at that game instead now, I'm all for it.
Okay. Well, knight c3 is, of course, a much less popular move than knight f3. And knight c3, it provokes the queen to giving it, whoa, queen d8.
After a 1-minute tank.
Wow,
That's
queen d8.
Crazy talk right away.
D4, and this is just
D4.
Garry with lots of development.
Yes, indeed. Well, if he gets bishop f4, knight f3, king f2, white just has a strategically won game.
The game will be over.
I mean, a queen d8. Okay.
And Sergey continuing to tank. He's going to have
Wow.
almost half as much time as Garry pretty quickly. Knight to f6 played after another 30-second tank.
Bishop takes,
Of course, bishop takes
f4.
f4. Probably met by d5, and that's what Gary's considering if he can stop that. I mean, isn't e5 playable here?
No, e5 is actually a very powerful move, and it just, though, you're going to play knight g8 after
No,
e.
you have to play knight g4, actually, and maybe hide
Oh,
on
yes,
e6,
because there's no
because
queen
the king
takes
is in the way.
g4.
That's right.
Yes.
That's actually
But don't think
hilarious.
too long, Garry.
Gary
Keep
doesn't
your
want to
time
see.
edge.
He doesn't want to see d5 happen. That's what he's trying to avoid. He's wondering if he can get away with this move. But
But
the
e5
knight on
looks very strong. e5, knight g4, bishop takes f4, d6, knight f3. This just looks very strong for white.
exactly what he's pondering. Why is he thinking so long now, though? As his time is frittering away, he should be instinctive and just go for the move. But he's certainly looking at exactly that line with the move e5 and knight g4 and see whether or not he can refute anything in this particular direction. But if
And
he's
also
just going to
considering
throw away
just
all his time
taking-
advantage, come on, it's not a rapid game anymore. It's blitz.
No, he's trying to. I think the fact that Sergey played so slowly is kind of having an influence on him. But the thing is, he's going to need that time later, and he just played bishop takes f4,
Right
declining
away.
to play e5, keeping the tension.
And certainly d5 is almost boxed in this position.
Right.
Just throw the pawn out there, and he's thinking again.
And what's the difference of d5 e5? Does white have any independent choices there? I guess you could play. I mean, knight e4 doesn't look too good.
Well, before
You
94
have to
was
play
simply
94.
impossible, but now it is.
Yeah, now you
available.
have it as an option.
And
Well,
he's starting to study it.
I really don't think there's much of a He has played
No, he's
bishop
played
e4.
bishop-
I was about to say, I really didn't think he had much of a choice.
Oh, you
bishop-
thought you liked bishop before?
No, I thought d5 was forced. Bishop b4, e5, bishop c3, takes on f6, queen takes f6, bishop e5. This looks like complications that should favor white.
And winning a,
And if
that
takes
line
on-
you just mentioned
takes on B2
virtually wins
instead?
a piece,
Because of
but
the
it's
pin on the
pin on
e5.
the e-file eventually.
Right.
But maybe black should take on b2 instead of recapturing an f6.
Yeah, well, then I take on g7.
True.
And then it's
Everybody's
just dead.
funky in that line.
Exactly.
This
Bishop
is
b4.
crazy chess already, and Garry also
Take and make a queen.
thinking quite a bit in this position.
That's a wild position where we have 4 queens on the board momentarily. To review, Yaz is suggesting e5, bishop c3, takes on f3, bishop
takes on
takes
f6,
b2,
takes
takes
on
on g7, and then
And
we
he has
have
played
to,
bishop g5.
G5. Whoa, this is
Some very
very
cagey
odd
plays.
move. I mean,
That's a
isn't
surprise. Can you
h6
say? Can you
isn't
play
h6
bishop
going to cause
or
problems?
knight e4 is also a potential here because c3 is hanging.
Oh,
Precisely.
that's-
Bishop c3,
Pawn
bc3,
C3.
knight takes e4.
No,
that
that-
looks like a clean pawn.
That's good. That was a mistake, bishop g5. I think that runs into this tactic.
No,
Or is
the
there something?
c7 is hanging. Sorry,
Okay.
knight e4, bishop d8, knight c3, king f3.
And he avoided the line completely with the move d6, giving Garry another chance. Bishop g4 is not quite a threat because of the... Wait, he allowed this idea again for a second time.
No, I
Knight
think
takes...
he's
You played knight f3.
Yeah,
right?
that's a good move. Just simply knight
Because
f3.
now after knight
e4, bishop takes d8, knight takes e3 check, king d2,
Yeah, and at the end, the d6 hang is
Right.
as well, so white's going to have a better endgame.
I don't
And
know
we
if
do-
white handled this the best way he could have. And now it
After
looks as though
castles.
there's smoother development on the part of black in this position. He will have to handle that center of whites as Gary's looking to play bishop d3, rook f1, king g1 as fast as possible.
Exactly.
And Sergey can't just develop pieces, but that e-pawn will be a target. And there he goes, right after the center with the move c5.
Right.
Although I have to say, that center doesn't look...
It
he's
looks
gonna play
stable.
bishop. He's going to play bishop g4. That's what he wants. He wants to be able to play bishop g4, knight c6,
I think I
and
would-
crack the structure if possible.
I would start with the prophylactic h3,
And
just to
that's
stop.
exactly what he did.
And after knight c6, I'd post the bishop not on d3, Maurice. I like c4.
Right.
I like the c4 square. That's a nice diagonal. And now, thanks to c5, the d5 square is a good outpost for the bishop. But I absolutely agree with what you're saying. You want to play bishop c4, rook e1, and start tucking your king in as nicely as possible.
I was
as
going to
you want.
say, though, the challenge for you is that e-pawn. The pawn on e4, he's got to really focus on. He's played rook e8 to challenge his pawn, and now queen d3 has been played, and that shuts down the ability of the bishop on f1
Yeah.
to get into the game on gray squares.
Yes.
Gary still has not solved the problem of development with bishop e2. He's going to have to play more solidly and just hold on to his space. He also has to worry about a c4 shot at any point that will force him to play queen takes, rook takes on e4. So this is
Or a b6 with the idea of bishop a6 and bishop b7.
good point as well. I'm not really keen on this position for white. He's holding on to his space, but black is going to have pretty easy development. B6, as you mentioned, Jen,
Rook
has
E1.
been played, and rook e1 quickly to guard that e-pawn.
Before
This looks
movement.
like black is absolutely okay. And now bishop b7, torturing the e-pawn even further, not even giving him a chance to play bishop to e2, and it's white who has trouble with space.
That
G3.
queen d3 seemed like it was off kilter, because now we still need to get our bishop on f1 and our rook to f1 and our king to g1. We're not finished with our development here.
D5 looks almost forced.
Close it
no,
down.
No.
You don't want to
D5?
play it, but what do you play?
G3.
G3.
I think white is better.
So you still like white?
Oh, yeah.
But if G3 and I play C4,
Knight c6 maybe?
no, what about
Take it.
C4? You take it and
And
allow.
I'll mate you on the back rank.
Oh, he's saying bishop e4, rook takes c4.
Correct.
So yes, so that doesn't work at the moment, c4. But what about
like
Let's
this-
play G3.
what about just developing the knight to d7?
Excellent move, bishop G2.
And now
C6.
Maurice's idea of c4.
Yeah, that would be a trade. And
So I can
fortunately,
get your
with the
E4
bishop
pawn.
on G2, white is ready finally
To play rook F1 and king
rook F1
G1.
and king G1 and tuck things away. And don't forget, guys, there's going to be an E4, E5. Oh, they're
I want to play
playing
knight.
so fast.
I want to play knight c6 instead, and that is what
You
Sergey
play knight
did.
C6, bishop G2, rook C8. This
Knight
is the
C6,
position.
bishop
and,
D2, A3.
and he played A3. I just feel like the lead in development really suggests that black is doing very well for some reason, but I don't know what move to drop right now. How do
Well,
you?
a3 was a prophylactic move against takes on d4 followed by knight b4.
Exactly, stops the one.
I mean,
threat.
white needs two full moves right here. Two full moves to get his act together. Where's the shot that black could use? He can't quite capture on
But black is
D4.
running low on time, Maurice.
That's a factor.
Knight
Whoa!
Knight b8, that was not what we were expecting.
B8. Well, that's because black is just worse, guys. I'm
So-
telling you, there's just no play in the
c4
position.
is c4 a threat? Just
Well,
ganging
I
up?
would play rook e3 to stop c4. The idea of rook e3 is c4, then I'll drop back to e2 with my queen. So rook e3, he's played it.
Rook
Knight
e3, then
d7
knight's configured back to d7. Maybe he's trying to remove his queen. Play
and now
queen
rook,
g6.
rook e1, rook h1 to e1, just keeping that central pawn duo alive. Come on, Gary. Ooh, he played rook f1. I don't like that move. Rook e1, I really like Gary's position. Then he would play king g1 and king h2, and
Move
he
the
would be
queen
great.
out of the way to e7.
And look, he's going to have to bring his rook back to e1 anyway.
And then knight f6 is coming,
And
putting
then
some
I have to
pressure
play
on you.
knight d2, and that's not what Gary wanted when he... Rook f1 was a blunder, a mistake, sorry.
Yeah, in Blitz we have to be careful about what we call blunders, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So
king
G,
g2.
King G1
pardon me,
rather.
King g1, hanging the e4 pawn. Why can't he take it?
and
he
he's
has.
taken it. And Gary's played queen to e2. Note that Sergey's down to almost 20 seconds. Garry Kasparov, just like Levon thought, manages in time a lot better. But what about his position, Yaz?
Why did he blunder his e4 pawn? If his rook was on e1, he would be boss in this position. Knight h4 to stop f5,
And
fortifying the bishop on e4.
And we're threatening
It's
something
about
like
time.
takes on e4 and knight f5 and
G7, G6 just to
14
stop.
seconds left for black. 14 full seconds. Up a pawn, clearly doing very well, but will it be
Yes,
enough
Sergey.
time for black to be able to win this one? And bishop takes,
E4.
and now queen g4 with threats. Knight f5 potentially coming.
and importantly stopping the consolidating f5.
Absolutely.
Knight f6 immediately played by Sergey. Queen
Queen
g5,
G5.
knight h5, back to g4.
And I
Sergey
think-
might repeat.
Repeating, and Garry
Just
smells
because-
blood. But
think that-
Sergey's happy to repeat in this position. Looking at the clock, knight f5 is still in the position.
But he's
and
going
only-
down to 6 seconds.
Oh, he's
And he
playing
is
knight
playing knight
G7.
g7. Playing for the win.
Absolutely.
Well, f5's coming.
F5 is the big point.
But is this smart with just 8 seconds? Yes.
Well, let's
Gamble?
that's a big gamble. But hey, look, if you're going to win, you got to risk.
Garry
Gamble.
looking like he's dropping back. Queen
Queen
e2.
e2 takes on d4, takes on d4.
But f5
Garry-
is coming.
Gary's very happy about that trade on d4. And
Now the
Sergey-
A pawn got snapped off, and Sergey going for it. 2 pawns up. Can Garry make any headway with counterplay in this position?
Queen d g4, knight e6, I think was mistimed. G4.
Knight's trying to get to f3 with check. He's going to have to sacrifice an exchange in that position. And
look at him
now
go.
it looks like black should be winning this position. Can Garry make any kind? Oh, there he's hesitating there.
Because he was hanging the c3 pawn on knight e3. That was why he took that back. Queen has to go to h6. f2 was his choice.
I know.
Had to
Now the
defend
A pawn
h1.
maybe have to push just to make a move. Queen g5 with check. Rook
what-
g3.
King.
Sergey's only
G2.
used 2
And now
seconds.
he can take his pawn, and it's a sacrifice by Kasparov.
Not
looking
enough.
for perpetual.
Queen c2 check.
Queen d2 check.
And now he just has to get his queen on the right square, it looks like. But how does he quite do it? Is he still
Queen
checking?
e4 check.
No, but he can never take this. He can never take the knight.
No.
He can never ever take the knight. And this discovery is in the position. And Garry looks like he might have saved the game
What
as
is
he's
the-
continuing still to check. Sergey's checking on every single square he
Because he's
can.
trying to use the time, the 3-second delay, to
But-
figure
but-
out if there's any way out.
But he's not getting any increments with all of these moves. What
No,
is the
and he
current
still has
time?
to face the problem of this
5
knight.
seconds for Sergey and 30 seconds for Garry. So,
And we're back to the repeating
so
again.
if we take the knight, it's
I-
just a draw. And what if we don't take the knight? There's just knight takes f8.
There are discoveries. There's strange discoveries in the
But are there
position.
any checkmating
I
discoveries
think
that aren't
we've had a
threat?
3-time repetition.
Must have had it by
in
now.
2 seconds.
Oh!
He almost zeroed out.
There he
Oh
was.
my, a draw. That was a heart stopper. Wow.
Ooh, and what happened in that key matchup for the first place?
Well,